Hi guys, am I audible to you?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll just wait for 5 minutes, then we'll just start off with today's session. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, Rohit, you have anything to say?
Yes, ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yeah, then.
Ma'am, is it like compulsory to attend all the like meeting sessions or like I can also watch the recorded sessions as well? Like I am going with
No,
my
no.
exams right now, so that's why.
I understand, but I guess like your attendance is also a part of evaluation to give you the certificate, the final certificate of the internship.
Yes, ma'am, I have just like missed the yesterday's
Sorry?
session, but I have missed yesterday's session, but I was regular in the previous session.
Okay, okay. Got it. But see, the thing, as I mentioned, that that is an uh, key area of evaluation, so you can think of accordingly. Okay.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, I also have a doubt. I didn't receive offer letter yet, but in circulated list, my name was there. I also checked mail multiple time and sent the message on WhatsApp group to the personal number, but they didn't reply. Hello.
Okay, I was muted.
Yes, ma'am.
The thing, I was
So,
actually muted. That's why I was actually speaking, but I couldn't get it through. Like you people couldn't hear me. So the thing is about offer letter, I am not the correct person to answer you on that because I don't have any idea about the offer letter thing. Okay, so how they are going to share you the offer letter and stuff, you have to mail them only. They will be addressing you. Okay,
I
so
also
just allow
mailed
them
him,
in.
but mailed some person, but they didn't
Sorry.
reply anything yet.
Okay, when you have mailed today itself.
Where I got the mail, where I get the no, it's on 1st of September.
Okay, got it. Fine. So you have mailed, just mailed it in the HR domain. Okay, like the HR mail ID, I guess that has been shared with you. In that mail ID, you shared the like whatever be your queries, and that will be resolved. And about the offer letter, like it is, I guess the fifth class today, right? So accordingly, it will take some of the time. Okay, don't worry on that. You'll definitely receive the offer letter. Fine. And about relevant to that, you need to just mail them, or if any number like required number is given to you for any query and stuff, you can like directly ask there. Like I have no idea related to this, so I am related to the course and the staff. Okay, so I have literally no idea related to how the offer letter is been sent. Okay, like I understand where the offer letter has been sent and the details, but who have received, who have not received, this data and the stuff is not there with me. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll just start off with today's session. Okay. Just a moment. Yeah. Let me just share my screen. You let me know whether my screen is visible or not. And before that, just wanted to ask you, like, is there any new person like who have joined the session yesterday or today like that? Anyone? They can raise the hand. Okay, 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 okay. When you have joined Hana, Fatima, like when was your first session? Hello? Shalini, Shalini, can you tell when is your first session?
Yes, ma'am. Today only.
Today only. Today only. Okay, so for both of you, today is the first session. Okay,
Yes,
fine.
ma'am.
Okay, well, we are going from very basic. Hope you will be understanding all of the details and the classes that you have actually missed. For that, the recordings will be provided to you. Don't worry. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So we'll just start off with today's session. Okay, let me just share my screen up. You just let me know whether it is visible or not. Okay. Screen is visible,
Yes, ma'am.
guys. Okay,
Yes.
fine. So we'll just go through with today's agenda. So first, what we will be doing, we will be going ahead with the details of the data analytics. Like basically, we will be doing an EDA project. So what are the steps that we need to follow up, that we need to think it of, like the data wrangling, what are the data wrangling process or the pre-processing process that is needed to be checked on. So we will be doing that. After that, after we are done with that, we will move on to a project like where we will be taking the data set from Kaggle, we will be downloading that, and eventually we will go ahead and try to do the project here. Like I will be doing it, and accordingly, I guess you will be also putting in, and accordingly, we will be doing the project here. Okay, fine, understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So I wish that every one of you who are new also and who are old, like who are done with this session previously, they do does communicate. So who are new to the session, the thing is you have to communicate, because without being like without the communication, I won't be able to understand that whether you are getting the points or not, whether any issues are you are facing or not. If in between you are facing any issue, you can directly unmute yourself and definitely ask the question. But when I am just going ahead with discussing anything, like I am into the flow of anything, don't just switch on the mic in between if you have nothing to ask. Okay, just without any reason, don't just switch on the mic. Fine. If you are having any issue, I will be after every section, I will be asking whether the things are clear to you or not. Then you can definitely ask, or in between also, you can definitely ask if you have any valid question. Fine? Clear, guys? Hello? Am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you
Yes,
are
ma'am.
audible.
Okay, fine. Okay, got it. Just a minute. I'm just sharing the screen. Just a minute. Screen is visible, right?
Yeah, ma'am. Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So accordingly, the very first pre-processing step, like after we have, I guess you are well known about the stuff, how we are just getting the data and how we are just reading it. I guess you people know, right? Like how we are going ahead and loading the data in Python, right? Right, guys? How many of you know?
Ma'am, can you repeat what you said?
I just told how we can go ahead and just download the data from Kaggle and just load the data using pandas. Did you people know?
Yes, ma'am, we know.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, great, fine. So
Yes, we know,
that
ma'am.
we while we will be going ahead and doing the project, there I will be also showing. But here we will be now for this part we will be going ahead and understanding about the pre-processing steps that we need to follow, and that is mandatory while we are going ahead and checking for the pre-processing part, like doing the pre-processing part. Okay, so we'll be writing it down here for your reference so that it becomes easier for you to understand the steps. So basically, after we have done with the like loading the data, there are certain steps like we need to view the data, how the data is, we need to understand it, right? Just a moment, there are some people there.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, please tell.
Ma'am, your screen is not visible.
Okay, just a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, I
It is
am
not visible.
just a moment. Now is it visible? Now
No, ma'am. No,
not
ma'am.
visible?
Yeah,
Okay,
Visible,
yeah,
okay.
ma'am.
ma'am.
Visible.
Ma'am, it's visible, ma'am.
Visible, right? Okay, fine. Okay, got it. Okay, fine. So as I told, the very first step that we are concluding up here, that is remove, like we need to remove the exact duplicates that we are having, right? So for that, what is exact duplicates? Like, let me just show you a normal data set. Okay. Yeah. So screen is visible, right? You are able to see my screen, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So this data set is, can you see this data set that I am showing it to you?
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is the
Yeah, ma'am.
data set. I have just taken a data set up from Kaggle itself for like better reference or accordingly. So this one, this ID, age, this gender part, along with this data set, CP, this actually are this columns basically. Under this, we are getting this data. Okay. So this columns basically we are calling it as feature. Okay. Anyone have any question? Vasavi,
Ma'am,
you have anything? Yeah,
ma'am, like the data set is downloaded from where?
Kaggle itself. I will be giving you the data set. Don't worry. I will be showing
Oh,
you from where I have downloaded the data. Okay,
okay. Thank you, ma'am.
fine. So anyone, any other question? I have seen someone has raised the hand. Can you tell what issue you are having? You can unmute yourself and let me know. Not an issue. Okay, let it be. I am just focusing up here. Okay, so as I told that this actually is the rows basically where Ravi, you have anything to say? I am asking again. If not, you can just stop raising your hand. Okay. So the thing is, here we are just having this column, the name of the column. This actually we are calling. Yeah. Hello.
Ma'am, ma'am, your skin is not visible.
No one can see my screen.
Ma'am, it is
No, ma'am.
visible,
It is
ma'am.
visible. It's visible,
So
ma'am.
Visible,
visible,
visible.
right? Most of you can see my screen, right?
Yes, ma'am. Visible.
Okay. So then Ravi, I think you have poor network issue. You need to rejoin. You just rejoin.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So as I was saying, this is the actually the columns. We call it the features of the data set because based on this only we will be able to we'll go ahead and analyze and we'll get the ED analysis or any of the basic project related to data analysis will be done. Okay, fine. So, and against this columns, we are getting this data up. Okay, these are the data we are getting, and this data we are getting according to this rows, right? So this rows are the values basically, and these columns are basically we are calling it as features. Okay, so see here, all of these columns name are different. The name of the columns are different, and accordingly for this very data, we are getting different sets of the columns under each of the uh, columns basically. Each of the rows are different under each of the column you can see, right? Each of them have like unique identity. So there is no rows or columns that we are getting like maybe rows because the data set is huge. Like you can see the last row, it is 920. The number of data that we are getting it, we are working with that is 920 and we are going ahead with and based on that we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 16 columns we are getting, right? So based on that when we will be going ahead, so we the first pre-processing step that we need to check on, that is we need to remove the exact duplicates. So sometime in our data set the same row like the same data or might be same column also might appear more than one time, right? So that is repetitive, right? So this repeated rows are called this duplicates. So we need to remove them. So why we are removing them? Because duplicates can distort the analysis that we are actually doing. Okay, so let me just give you an example. Like for example, if we are counting the customers or customers that duplicates. If the same customers are coming repeatedly, same like you have been given with a form, Google form, and one person is filling the form repeatedly, like 4 to 5 times the same person has filled the same Google form. So it will definitely affect the data, right? So like it's not like the one person is doing among the 50%, it's maybe 5 to 6% or more than 10% is doing the same, then that will definitely affect the data because there's like 5 to 10 people, the repetition is coming up. So for 5 people, the data, if they are doing it for 5 times, then it is 25 times. So we are only getting 20 among 50 data, only 25 data are unique or real data, and rest 25 is duplicate. That will definitely affect the data, like the processing and the analysis. So we need to remove that. Clear, guys? Understood
Yes, ma'am.
what I told? Okay. So
Yes,
the
Yes,
very
ma'am.
first step, okay. So in between, if my screen is not visible, please let me know because there might be the network issue. Okay. So just let me know if anyone can't see my screen. Okay. So the first step is removal of exact duplicates. Okay. So after that, we'll move on. The next step that we need to consider up here, that is we need to fix the inconsistent entries or any inconsistent entities that is present inside the rows that we need to check. So what is the next step? We need to fix the inconsistent entries. Okay, so we have seen there are many entries up. So here you can see there are many data that has came up. So we have written male values, we have taken female values, we have taken true values, then IV hypertrophy, we have taken normal, this value we have taken it, then down sloping, flat, up sloping, whatever be the details, we have taken it down. But there can be situation where the same name comes into different format, like uppercase, lowercase, or sentence case as well. That will create an effect, right? So as you know, Python is case sensitive. It understands the case. If the case is different, the case is different. Like if the same data is having a lowercase or a uppercase, then Python will count it to be two different data. So this we don't want. So that's why we need to fix the inconsistent entries that we are getting. Okay. So there are possibilities where suppose we are getting, okay, just a moment. Yes. So we are getting suppose the value USA. So it might be written as USA, or anyone may write it as USA, or maybe anyone writing it as US, or anyone might write it as United Kingdom, United States, sorry. Right. So any of this form, the same data that is USA can be written, right? But everything is under one single entry only. That we like the data are same, but the writing wise it is like making the inconsistency. So we need to handle that. The very second step that we will be handling is to fix this inconsistent entries. Okay. So next after this we need to like this after doing this step, the third step that we need to focus on is to handle missing values. Okay, guys, up to this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So we need to handle the missing values, that is the blanks or anything like any empty cell we are getting or any missing data that we are getting, that we need to check it through. We need to check how many missing values are there. First, the very first thing we need to check in the data after we have received the data, if the data set is having any missing values or not. If there are many missing values,
What happened? Did ma'am left?
Uh, actually, actually, there might be some network issue or anything. That's why I have been left. Okay, so
Okay, ma'am.
I'll just share my screen up.
Uh, Abhi, so ma'am, I think let me make you the presentator here.
Okay.
I think it could be possible that someone might be
Yeah,
removing you.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a minute. Yes, Abhi, so ma'am, you can unmute yourself and then continue. And
Okay, thank you, sir.
if anyone want to discuss something, you can unmute. You have a right to unmute anyone.
Okay, okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So guys, I'm just sharing the screen. You just raise your hand and let me know if my screen is visible to you or not. Fine. Guys, visible, right? Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks. So the third step that we are going ahead with, that is handling the missing values, that is the blank specifically. Sometime our data set will have the like the yeah, in the data set we are having some of the cells basically that are empty, or we are getting the missing data. So these data are called the missing values specifically. Okay. So in that very case, what we actually do in that case, we just go ahead and first, when we after we have gone ahead and downloaded the data, we just viewed it up. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, we just have viewed it up, and then we have to check, is there any missing values that are there in the data set or not. So if there is any data set like any missing values, then we need to check it through, like if there in which column or under which feature the missing data is. Okay, so after that we need to view that. It is very needed that we need to view the data, because we will be getting a proper idea if we are working with huge number of data sets, what is the exact number of data that is missing, and under what feature that is missing, that needs to be taken care of. So the very third step that we are considering up is the handling missing values. So why we need to go ahead with the very, like we just need to go ahead with, because we need to handle this missing data, because there are cases where using like the number of missing data are huge, that affected the analysis. And even if we are going ahead and performing any model, like training any model or implementing any model, that also gets affected. So that is the most important reason why we need to go ahead and handle this data. Okay. So the ways by which we can handle the data, the very first way that we can handle the data, that is to remove the rows with the missing data, right? Just a minute. Let me just, okay. So the first one that we are concluding up under missing values, that is that is actually removing the rows with missing data. Okay. And the second one that we can conclude up, that is we need to fill the data with a value. Like if there is missing data, we need to fill that very genre or that very cell with some of the value. Okay. So what the next step by which we can handle the data, like handle the missing data, that is we need to fill missing data with a value. Okay, so what kind of value by which we can fill this data? We can use the average mean, or we can like the average basically, that is the mean. Next, we can use the mod value, we can use the zero value, or there is a region where we are using the median value also. Okay, so that depends on the problem and under which feature we are putting the data on. So basically, in this format, we do handle our missing data. Okay, so after that, the fourth step that we need to consider up, that is we need to detect and treat the outliers. Okay, so we need to detect and treat the outliers. So what are outliers? Outliers are values that are much higher or lower than most of the data points. So actually that is creating an parity, like that is creating a difference. Like most of the data that we are getting, that is of similar kind, but there are certain some of the data that we are getting across, that is different, that is not following the same trend. They are like they are out of the range of the data that we are taking into consideration. So in that purpose, in that form, we are going ahead and taking it down, and we are considering that data points as a outliers. Okay, so for an example we can think of, most people we are taking most people age in the range of 20 to 40, right? But there are some people in the same genre, like suppose you're filling the Google form, you're putting your age, but there will be somebody or someone who will be putting the age at age as like 70, 80, or even 100 plus, right? So a normal human being in today's generation or above generally stays alive up to the age of 70, 80 maximum, not more than that, right? So if anyone is putting the value, like most general data is coming in the genre of like zero, like 1 to 80, 70 or 80 in this range, 1 to 80 in this range I am taking. But there will be some people who are living at the living after 80 also, 85, 90 in this area. But the most of the common range people is coming from 1 to 80. And the people who are marking around 90, 95, 100, these people are considered as outlier for this very session, like for this very data set. Okay, understood, right? Okay, fine. Then we'll just move ahead and we'll see like how we can treat them, like how we can handle them, and how like in what way we can do that. We need to treat this outliers basically. So we'll detect and treat in there are three ways that by which we can detect and treat the outliers. First, we can remove them totally, the data that is not coming into the frame, we can definitely remove that data accordingly. The very next step we can do, like the other option that we are getting, we cap them between a certain limit, or we cap them at a certain minimum or maximum range, so that it becomes easier for people to understand, like it is getting easier to handle this outliers, and also get who is analyzing, that is easier for the person to understand that well, right? So the second step is cap them at certain maximum and minimum value. Okay. So after this, the third option that we might get, That is, we need to transform them using logarithm. Okay, that is another option that we get in case of detecting and treating the outliers. What is that? That is transforming them using logarithm. Okay. Up to this much clear, guys. You can just raise your hand to let me know if it is clear. Guys, everyone. Okay, fine, great. Okay, got it. Okay. After this, the detect and treat outliers. After this, the second step is like fifth step that we will be considering is scaling and normalization. Okay. Scaling and normalization specifically. So what it means, so different columns in our data might have very different range of values, right? So here you can see the range of values, like here we have different ranges of values. Again, here in this column, under this column, the range is very different, right? So we need to put that values in a range. Okay, suppose we can think of as an example. In this example, suppose a age, there are two criteria in our data set. Suppose one is age, another is salary. Suppose the age range is was from 0 to 100 and the salary range is from 0 to 1 lakh, suppose. Okay. So this difference actually creating the confusion with some algorithms in some of the machine learning algorithms. So that needs to be taken care of. So we need to do the scaling and normalization so that we can get in through with the understanding part, like how to go ahead and treat that well. So basically, for that very part, we are doing scaling and normalization. So normalization, we scale all the values, whatever be the values we are getting, we scale them from the range of 0 and 1. And standardization, what is standardization? It actually is transformation of the data. Standardization is actually the transformation of the data to have the mean value 0 and the standard deviation value as 1. Okay, so this is actually scaling and normalization. Based on that, we are just going ahead with. So the fifth step that we have considered up, that is scaling and normalization. So what it does, we do have different columns in our data set. So the data set might have different range of the values against each of the following features that we are considering. So we need to handle that. So what is the solution for this? That is normalization. Normalization, what it does in case of normalization, normalization scales those value, all those values that we are taking into consideration in the values between 0 and 1. So that is into normalization. And next, that is standardization. What is standardization? It transforms the data. Like basically, it is done to transform the data. So it transforms the data to have the mean value. The mean value that we are considering up, that is 0. And the standard deviation we are considering up, that is 1. Okay. So that is the fifth step, basically. Next, this after fifth step, we can consider up, that is encoding. So we need to encode the categorical data. This is specific to the categorical data. So we do have to work with the machine learning models, right? So this machine learning models can't understand the text or the categorical form that we are giving to it. So it understands only the numbers. Okay, so the text needed to be converted into numbers. So this is what we are doing in case of encoding categorical data in this section. So what we are doing, there are two types of encoding that we are doing. One is label encoding, another is one-hot encoding. So what label encoding does, in case of label encoding, it assigns a number to each category, whatever be each of the category. Suppose uh, row, any of the specific name has been given, there we are getting and assigning the number to each of the specific category. And what we are doing in one hot encoding, we are actually creating a new column for each category where we are getting the value with either 0 or 1. Okay. So we are getting the value, like suppose we are having the value as yes and no, yes and no. So for yes, we will be getting the data as 1. For no, we will be getting the data as 0. So this is a part of like encoding and encoding categorical data. So as I mentioned, there are two ways. First is label encoding, and sorry, and the second one is one hot encoding. Okay, right? Clear, guys? Understood? Understood, right? You can just raise your hand to make me know that you have understood. Okay, okay, got it. Okay. So after this label encoding, what we are doing, we are handling the text data, whatever be the, like if we are having any text data in the data set, we need to handle that. So we need to handle this text data that is there, that is lowercase. Some data set that we are thinking of, we have the text like review, comment, or tweets. That is not structured. The data that we are getting, that is not structured. So this kind of data we are getting from the reviews. Suppose we are taking into account about the reviews, we are taking into account about the comments that we get in the YouTube or any of the social platform there. If And also there are certain methods like in Twitters also we do get some of this like this kind of data that is unstructured. The data is not structured at all. Okay, so that's why we need to handle that. So why we need to handle that? We need to convert the text into numbers for analysis purpose. That text, that unstructured data, that we need to convert it into number, right? For analysis. So for that, we are just going ahead and trying and working with this text data. So what are the techniques that we can think of? We can definitely go ahead with lower casing, like we convert all of the letters in lowercase so that we don't face any of the issues up there. Next, we can remove the punctuation. Suppose there are, I can show you like in this data, there are after drop shipping. Suppose there is a space and punctuation. Okay, but I need to call this or after in the features also after slope. Suppose there is a underscore and a gap and a underscore or and a hyphen maybe whatever be it. Okay, but when I need to call this feature in my code, I will be only writing slow. But as you know, it is case sensitive. This exact thing has not came up. That's why the code will show error. Okay, so it will not run accordingly. So that is the reason we need to remove the punctuation specifically. Okay. So we need to remove the punctuation or any numbers that are there in the data. There are certain cases in the data where we need to just split the data. That is called tokenization. Like we need to put it into different tokens or each of the, suppose we are having a whole sentence, we need to token each of the specific word. Okay, and the next criteria we can think of it is count vectorization or IDS, that is that converts text into numbers. That is CFIDS, that is count vectorizer, that actually converts the text that is there into a number. that helps us to analyze, like work with the data very well. We'll be able to work with the data in that perspective very well. Next, next we have to do the feature engineering. Okay. So what we do in this case, so features are the columns that are there in our data set that are called features. So feature engineering, what it is, it creating new columns from the existing one. Okay. So whatever be the column, suppose here we are having this column. Now, based on this, if I want to do feature engineering, so I would be based on my understanding of the data and what columns are there, I can create a new column. I can create a very new column where I will be going and analyzing it. Okay. So I will be going and analyzing it, and based on that, I will be creating a very new column based on my understanding. Suppose I can give you an example. Suppose we have a customer data or data of the mall. Suppose the customers are going to the mall and buying the product, like what is the number of products they are buying, that is there in my data, and what is the suppose what is the per unit cost of that product, that I am getting in my data, but I am not getting what exactly is the spending amount the person has gone ahead with, like what exactly the amount the person has spent against those buying those products, right? So I am getting the number of products the customer has brought, and per unit, what is the per unit cost of that very product that I have got. So what I will be doing, I will be creating a new column where I will be multiplying this value, like I will be multiplying the what is the total number of values that I am getting, like what is the number of uh, like products the customer has brought actually, into we will be doing what is the per unit cost of that very product. Okay. So we'll be getting the purchased amount. Okay. So we'll be creating a new column up. So this actually is feature engineering that based on our understanding and our analysis of the data. Okay. So why we are actually doing this feature engineering? So it actually gives us a better features. Like using those features, we can get the plots, but with the amount of money that the person has spent it, that will give us a more clear view or more clear format. That's why for better feature, that is what a better feature actually signifies. Better feature means better insight or better prediction. So that is the reason we are doing this feature engineering. Okay. The next step that we will be considering is feature selection. Feature selection, or we can take it off like reduce dimensionality. Okay. For reducing dimensionality, we will be using PCA, that is principal component analysis. So what it means? So not all columns that are there in our data set are useful, right? So we do have some of the columns in our data set that are like useless, that are not making any of the major features, or putting any of the extra features up in the plotting or insight that we are getting across. So we need to choose the correct features or a target features we need to choose that actually is keeping the most of the important parts. Okay. So here you can see that the eye not making any such effect, not putting any such effect in the data, all also in our analysis part as well, right? That's why there is obviously a chance where we can remove this id, because that is not making any much difference up, right? So clear I guess clear is this part is clear, everyone understood? Okay, okay, great, great, fine. So after this, sorry, just a minute. After this, after feature selection, we can do, okay. So let me just, before that, let me just tell you how we can do, in what way we can do. For this, I have only given the method of PCA. There are other methods also, that is, we can check the correlation. By checking the correlation also, we can do the feature selection, and also by statistical tests like p-test, like after doing hypothesis analysis, hypothesis testing basically. If we are going ahead and performing any of the statistical test also, there, from there also we can do any of the feature selection. We can identify which feature or which column has the most importance up in the whole data set. Okay, and the very next step that we need to consider is we need to balance the classes. Okay, so if it is a classification based problem, we need to balance the classes. Okay, so that is basically for a classification problem. Okay, so we need to balance the classes. What does it mean? In case of classification problem, we are getting into, or we will be coming or solving in those classification problems. Sometimes we get one class is more frequent than the other class. The data or the stuff, one class that is coming up, that is more frequent than the other class. So this is a miss in the count. Suppose we can think of any of the data where we are having two classes. Suppose one is passing class and another is failing class. And we are getting the data, the number of passing people is around 100 or 500. And we are getting, against that, we are getting the failing data as 5 or 10. Right. So you can see the difference, like number of people passing are much higher than number of people failing. Right. So if the model sees that 90% of the data is getting passed, then it will always try and predict any of the data, whatever be the data it will come across, it will predict the value as yes, and it will ignore no. So it will not learn that there are situations where the people fails also. For the model, the thing would be like the people always get passed, right? So the model see if the model sees the data, like the passing data to be like 90% of the data we like that has been given in the training for the model, that is most of the data is yes, then it will learn that only. Okay, so we need to balance the classes. We need to take into account, like if we are putting a data of pass and failing of the student, we need to give the equal amount or balanced amount. Like if we are giving at least 50% of the data of pass, we will definitely need to give at least 40% of the data that 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 is the person or the student who have failed in. Okay, so up to this, I guess everything is clear, right, guys? Guys, everyone clear? Okay, now you just stop your like raising your hand, and those people only will raise hand who have any doubts up. Then I will give the access to unmute, and accordingly the person can ask any of the questions. Okay, Ravi, you have any question? So I'm giving you. Okay, you don't have any question. Kevin, you have question? Okay, okay. Ravi, you have already. Okay, you don't have any question. Pawan, you have any question? Okay, might be I am just giving you the access to I am allowing microphone. You can let me know. Yeah, Pavan, you can now unmute yourself. You can tell me. You have any question, Pavan? Virender Singh, you have question? Sorry, Virenderjit Singh, you have question, right? I'm just unmuting yourself, like giving you the access. Yeah, you can now unmute, I
Hello,
said. Yeah,
I'm audible.
yeah,
Ma'am,
you're
please
audible.
tell me what is data inconsistency again? Inconsistency.
Start data, like fixing
Data
inconsistent data.
inconsistency. Yes.
Okay, fixing the inconsistent entries that you are saying, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So there are cases, right? Suppose there is a column up that we
Mhm.
are putting like about the country where the person is staying. We are taking that column up in our data. So there are multiple of people must be who are staying in USA. But the entry wise, when I am putting the entry in the Excel, I am putting anything like I am putting USA in uppercase, I am putting USA in lowercase. I can also put US or United States also. Okay, but that will count like if these values are different, though these values are same, but to the machine it will be different. All four values would be different. Okay, so in that case, I need to handle this. I need to change it to any one value. So for this, I will suppose change it to USA only. So that all of this data that will be lowercase USA that will be changed to USA, US that will also be changed to USA, and United States that is also changed to USA. Okay. So in that perspective, we are getting like changing all this value to USA. So it is becoming easier for me to handle to work with this data. Okay, understood?
Yes. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, clear? Everything clear up to now?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Okay, fine. So then we'll just move ahead and do any like a project basically. Okay. So let me just give you this data. I have taken down this data up here. Okay. So here basically this is the data set. This is actually UCI heart disease data that I'm taking into consideration. And from here, you can definitely download the data set. If you need to practice, you can definitely download it from here. So I'm just giving you the link up in the chat box. Just a minute. Okay, the chat section is off. I can't share. Okay, you can just take a look from you. If you are typing UCI heart disease data, there you will be getting it in Kaggle itself. Okay. So first we need to check in through like what actually is the content of the data. So I will be going through from here. So we are having the columns of the features that is ID, that is unique ID for each patient that we are getting. We are getting age value, the age of the patient in years. We are getting origin, that is place of study, the what kind of people it is, like what is the gender of the person, is it a male or a female, then the chest pin type, it is a typical angina, atypical, non-anginal, or also asymptomatic, right? So this actually are the like what are the columns that we are getting in through. Just a minute, there is someone waiting. Yeah. So this, when you are checking on, you need to check this data, this description, column description, you need to check on because that is mandatory when you are working with the data. Okay. When you have anything to say, last time I also have given you the access for the microscope sorry, microphone, but you haven't told anything. You want to say anything? Okay, I'm giving you the access. You tell me. Yeah, Pavan, you can unmute yourself and tell. If you have nothing to say, why you have like raised your hand? There is no point, right? You just stop your raising hand. This you don't need to raise your hand. if you have nothing to say. So you need to go through this column description so that you understand what your data set actually says. So this is the data actually I have downloaded it. So I have got this data up. So this actually is the data set that we have got. So okay, so we'll first see how we will be going ahead with. So we have taken this into consideration. So first, okay. Okay. So suppose for you only, I am telling in details about it. Suppose this week you will be given with a project. Suppose if it is any of the project, you need to follow this similar template. So if not for this one, like this week or for this project, in the future also when you'll be going and working with clients, you try and follow this kind of template so that it becomes easier for understanding, like for understanding purpose also, or if you are working with any of your personal project also, try to follow this type of template in case of data analytics or ML, basically whatever be it. So try and follow this template. So first you need to put the project name. There should be a proper project name that should be there in perspective of whatever project you are working on. Okay. And next, this project type. Project type should be there because there are many person I have seen who have not mentioned in which domain the project is all about. So here this project is related to healthcare domain. So you need to check in through. So project type you need to check in through. Like what is the project type? Next is the project prepared by, of course, who have prepared the project for this purpose, for this internship purpose and stuff. You need to add who have prepared this project up. Next, project summary. There should be a detailed project summary where you will be working, like what you have actually worked, how you have actually worked, that you need to take into consideration. So you will be giving, you have to give a proper textual lines. What is actually the project summary? You need to describe that. Okay. Next, you have to put your project to your GitHub. There you will be have to put the GitHub link that you need to put in. Next, the problem statement. What actually is the problem statement that you need to take into consideration. Okay. Then only you will be moving to the coding section. Okay. So the very first step of the coding that you need to do, that is you need to know the data. You need to know your data. Okay. So first, the very first step, you need to import the libraries. So I am using this data set that I have discussed on. So I am taking this libraries. I am using pandas. I am using NumPy, Seaborn, Matplotlib, basically to pandas. Generally, I am trying and using it to load the data set and work along with that so that we can create the data frame and accordingly work. We can import the Excel file that we are having, import the like Excel CSV file that we are having. NumPy basically to work with the mathematical operation. Seaborn, Matplotlib, this I am basically using in perspective of showing the plots, analyzing the plots, making interactive plots for that. Missingo analysis, that basically I am trying to put in cases where I need to visualize the missing data. That is a matrix that you'll be seeing. This one is basically I just need to, that is if any warning comes, I just want to ignore that part. So for that I am doing. And there are pre-processing like min, max, scalar. I want to put in any of, in suppose in the further section of my codes. For that, I am using, and next I am importing PCA. PCA is principal component analysis. If I need to reduce the dimensionality, in that case, in the project or in the data set that I am using PCA. Understood? Till now, what I told, you can raise your hand and let me know. Okay. So after it's done, you can definitely like raise down your hand. Okay. So this is how we are importing the libraries up. Next, we are doing the data set loading. So how we are doing the dataset loading. So we have an option here. We can definitely go here in this file section, and here from here we can just upload the CSV file. But that is not convenient up, right? When we will be facing this unable to reconnect to the runtime or any such error we will be getting through, then what happens? We will be losing that file. We need to again upload it to run the code, right? Because our main code, like the main important thing is this data set. Without this data set, not a single line of code will run, right? So for this, I have just used it from Drive. You can also upload the file in your GitHub, and from there you can just take the path and then read the CSV. You can do that as well, but I prefer doing it from the Drive itself. I am loading it from Google Colab. I'm importing Drive and I'm trying to mount it. Okay, so mount it at content under like slash Drive in this path, and I am creating the path where I have stored this data set, like heart disease UCI.csv. This is the name of the data set. So here I am actually I am putting the path up here and storing it up, and based on that I am reading the CSV file. Okay, till now understood, guys? Everyone, any question? Okay. Anyone having any question? If anyone having any question, they can just raise their hand now. Okay, Pankaj, you have a question. Okay. Tell me, you can switch on the mic and tell.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Ma'am, how can we define the path of the file? Can you please repeat this?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So what we are doing actually, where we are actually keeping the file, like the folder. Okay, just let me show you. Just a minute. Okay, so this is okay. Just a moment. This is my drive. Okay, I am going to my drive. So hard is the folder. Here, here I have taken down like I have uploaded my CSV file. Okay, so now what I am doing, I am just this content dot drive because I have mounted it there. I have mounted it there. So for that, this part will be same. Then I need to do my drive under the folder name heart disease. I have kept this. I have kept my CSV file. So that is the path that I have taken into consideration. So I have given this as my path. Clear how we have given this as a path? Pankaj,
Yeah, ma'am. What is the content?
what is? What content?
Um, Ma'am, on the code, on the third line of the code, path is equal to content. What is that, ma'am? I don't understand this.
Okay, got it. Fine. Just a moment. Yeah. I need to mount drive dot mount. So I need to drive the mount in certain position, right? So I am mounting it at content underscore drive. So you need to mount it here itself because in the drive I have imported drive. So I need to drive the mount in this section. So I have done it like that. Okay. Then I have included the path after content drive. Up to this, it has mounted then what actually is my path that I have given. Okay, based on my drive where I have uploaded it.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am. Okay,
understood?
now. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else is having any question? So I am continuing with this. Okay. So after this, what we are doing, we are reading the like CSV file that I am having. So after reading, we need to put it to the like Reading means we are converting it to the data frame. Okay. So df is the data frame that we have get from the raw data that we have taken into consideration. So it is a good practice to just copy the data set for cleaning. Okay. So you try and maintain this step. You just copy the data set for cleaning. So you create a copy of df and do all of the process in df.clean in this copied data set, because in any point if you are feeling that I need to take into count in the middle of the copying section after pre-processing also, if you need anyhow, I need to take into count of my original data or the raw data, you will definitely get the access of it, right? So it is a good practice to just copy the data set in any other variable and just use that. So you will be keeping the original data frame that you have created intact. So any moment in the code, if you are needing that, you can definitely use it up. Okay. So here I have checked if the columns, I have taken it to list name of the columns and checking if the original data, the original data frame df, the data that I am getting and after the copied version, it is same or not. So I have checked it through that the values are same. So I am quite confident. I can definitely use this data up henceforth. Okay, because we are getting the same data for the checking purpose, we can definitely check it through once, or like for making you understand, actually, I have put at the code so that you have the clarity that both the section are same. So we can definitely use the df underscore clean this variable as a data frame so that we can do the pre-processing in the step itself. Okay. Then we have just checked the length basically. So we have got it 16. Fine. Next, after this, the very first thing we need to take the first look of the data of the raw data that actually we are having. So that's why we are using dot head for getting it the first 5 rows that we will be having. I need to see how actually my data set looks. And for a change, this is the data. So let me just try and run the code. One minute. Let me just run the code because I need to show you something. So yeah, when you will be mounting, this option will come. You need to connect to Google Drive. So you do it, continue. So it will be getting mounted. It does take some time. Wait a minute. Yeah, it has mounted. Now I need to read it. Yeah, it has copied it like that. Now, see, here I am using dataset first look. So I printed first 5 rows of the dataset and slash n. This is for, I need to print it for the next line. For the new line, I have used that. And df underscore clean, this is my variable dot head. This actually, what it does, it actually prints, show me the first 5 rows of the dataset. Okay. So now what if I want to just do it print this and I run the code, so it is not coming in that structured way. So it is my advice, don't use this print statement when you are mounting it off, or if you are just uploading it from here, or just uploading it from this file section and working with the code, then you can do the print. Else, it will be just giving you now. See how structured way it has been given, right? So try to use it in this format. Okay. Next is the dataset rows and column count. We need to check what is the rows and column of the dataset that I am actually having. Okay, so I can see I am working with 920 data, like the rows, and the columns of the features is 16. Now we need to check the basic information, data set information that I am having. So I am using dot info. So I am getting what are the operations or the options that we are getting. Basically, what are the columns, what are the data we are getting. We are what is the null option or the count actually, and also we are getting the data type. Okay, So how many is the null value based on the ID or column type, like the based on the features of the columns that we are also getting up here. Okay. Then we need to check if we are having any duplicate value in the data set or not. So that we need to check in through. So for that, we have checked in through. Next, we need to check in through the missing values. If there is any missing value in the entire data set. So against the ID, like against the features we are getting, like how many number of missing values we are getting. So here you can see the counts where we are getting and against which feature we are getting the missing value. So after we have received, we need to visualize it. So this, I have imported missingo matrix for this purpose itself. Okay, because I need to view it out. So you can see this is the missingo matrix. So this white line against the data is actually showcasing. Yes, here you are getting the name of the features also. This white line represent the this are the positions or this are the values under this features we are getting the missing value. So for this white lines are okay. So here you can see again CA in this column. We are getting maximum number of missing values. So similarly, I have plotted the heat map for your reference. So you can use any one of them for visualizing the missing value. Okay. So next we need to understand the variable, what variables we are working on. We need to understand that. So we will be like printing which columns are available in the data and what are the data types of the columns because we need to go ahead and processing part. Okay. So then what is the data set description? So here this values will be coming up. That is description of the data set for the numerical columns only. Okay. So we can get the count value, mean value, standard deviation value, minimum value, 25% value, that is the Q1, that is quartile value, 50%, that is another quartile value we are getting, 75% quartile value that we are getting. Also the max value we are getting into consideration. Okay. Then we will be describing, working along and describing for the features up where we are checking for the unique values. Okay. We are getting the unique values into consideration. So we are using n unique for this inbuilt function, inbuilt method actually to check against which feature we are getting how many unique values. Next comes the data wrangling, that is the data pre-processing. So here the first step that we need to consider, we need to remove the duplicates. So and it is a good practice that we need to put which step are following. We will be printing like this first, that checking for the duplicate rows. So which step we are following and under what perspective, that is getting printed up here. Then we are printing any of the output based on that we are doing. Okay. So we are actually going ahead and putting up if there is any duplicate value that we are considering up, that we are actually checking up here. Okay. So if there is any duplicate value, we are actually dropping that. Fine. So here you can see up that here we are found that is number of duplicate value, that is 0. So that's why we are not going ahead with that. We are not taking into consideration because number of duplicate value is 0 only, and we have just checked of the uh, value after duplicates. Like here, since it is 0, if there is suppose one duplicate we have found, the value will get changed. This value will get changed. The shape will be affected. The shape of the data set will get affected on that. Okay. Next, what we are doing, we are going ahead and doing the this fixing the inconsistent entries. I have given you the example. The similar manner we are going and doing the fixing the inconsistent entries. So as I did for the first section, I just printed what step I am following inside the code. I am fixing the inconsistent entry that I have printed it off. Now I need to check against this column. I am getting this values. Okay, let me check against Hal. I am getting the this data I am getting, that is reversible defect. but the spelling of reversible is not correct. I need to change. There might be any of the value in the end among 920 columns, 920 rows actually, sorry, 920 rows. There the value might be correct. Like this data might be the spelling wise it is correct. So I need to change it. Okay. So let me just change it. So I will be doing and reverse the spelling previously in the data set is REVERSABLE. And I am changing REVERSIBLE. So we will be using replace option, like replace inbuilt function in Python to check, like uh, to change this data in this column. And first we need to give the column under which column we have to replace. That we have put it in, then replace, and then we have gone ahead with what value we need to change with what value. First, the value that is there in the data set that we need to put in, and with what value I need to change that I have kept in. Okay. So this is how we have just fixed the inconsistent entries. Okay. Next, we need to handle the missing values. Whatever be the missing values, we need to handle. So based on the previous data we have seen here, missing values. So we have seen that we have in the sections we are having the missing values mainly. So here we need to check it and accordingly handle it. Okay, so here, as usual, I'm printing, handling missing values in this section. Now we are working with the numerical values. So whatever be the numerical values I am getting, I am changing it with the median value. So this actually I have commented it down and for your understanding what actually we are doing. So try to use this comments in your code so that it becomes easy for you to understand in what step what you have done, and for others also in inside the code under which step what you have actually done. Okay. So this all are actually the numerical values. Okay. So I just preferred checking it, like replacing it with the median value. Okay. So median is referring to the numerical data because it is less affected by the outliers. That's why I am changing it with median value, because it would be getting less affected by the outliers. That's why for the numerical value, I am changing it to median for the missing values only, not the whole values. So I am using fill in, and under this column, I am putting missing column, I am putting this data out, this median values. And where I am getting any categorical column, like where the data is categorical, I am filling with the missing data with the mode value. Okay. So this is how I am handling the missing values. Next, I am going ahead and detecting the outliers. For detecting the outliers specifically, I am checking with, I am working and doing the IQR analysis, that is interquartile range analysis basically. So what actually it does, so specifically the previous step, what step I am doing, I am printing it down. And now I am doing the interquartile range, that step I am actually performing up here. So what actually we get in case of interquartile range? So interquartile range actually measure the spread in the middle of the data. So we will be doing the quartile 3 minus quartile 1 that we will be doing, and we will be creating a lower boundary and an upper boundary. Okay. So we will be creating a lower boundary and upper boundary. If this medium value is fixing it accordingly, we are getting it in this range, then we will be putting it against the median value, we will be putting it the value, and we will be converting, will like change the value, whatever be the value we are having, we will be changing it with the median value. If the value comes in this range, if not, we will be putting it to other values. Okay. So this is how we are detecting and treating the outliers. Now we are doing the scaling and normalization. We have seen IDE column and the num column specifically we have worked with. So basically we are doing it up there itself. So ID is usually the identifier column, that is the unique for each row, and num is it might be a target column that is actually labeled. you can see the target column that is labeled 0, 1, 2. This actually is giving it up. Okay, so that's why we are just putting it into a certain range from 0 to 1. In that range, we are trying to put it. So we are using the scaling option. So we did it, and using mean max scalar, we did it. And after it is done, we are doing the encoding. Basically, we are doing it for the categorical data. So if we are having any of the text data is not understandable by the machine, so we need to change it to 0 or 1 value. So we need to change it to 0 or 1 value so that the machine understands it. So for that, any of the categorical data we are getting across, we are changing it with numbers. So we are doing, so here in this stage, we are getting the categorical data in this columns basically. So we are changing it to 0 or 1 value. Okay. Next, we are doing the feature engineering. So we are doing adding the columns based on the requirement. So basically, we are creating a binary column where we are putting the column name that we are putting into count, where the name of the column we have used, that is heart disease. If the num value is greater than 0, then we are putting the person is having heart disease. So we are creating 1 or 0. This value will be created up in this binary target column. Okay. And similarly, for the age group, we have divided into 3 different age perspectively: young people, middle age people, senior people. So 0 to 40, one age, that is young people. 40 to 50 is coming under middle age, and 55 to 100 it is senior. So in this range, we have divided the age group so that it becomes easier for us to, just a minute, yes, it becomes easier for us to analyze and work also. And we have taken this cholesterol per ratio. We have cholesterol level, and we just change it to the cholesterol based ratio so that it becomes easier for us to do the analysis. Because if we are having the data in ratio format, so it will be easier for us to analyze. So after all this has equally run, so we will be printing that new features are added up. Okay. So now after doing all of this, after we have added this new column heart disease, so we have no more use of this num column. So we will be dropping it off, and ID is this column we will be also dropping off, because ID has no such effect. So we will drop off, and now after this, we will be just seeing what is the final data set after pre-processing we have got, and we will be just printing it. So after this, we have seen that we have 920 data, like the columns we are getting, and 920 rows we are actually getting, and against that 25 columns we are getting. So this actually is the step what we are doing for pre-processing. And next, the target distribution, we need to count the target distribution. Previously, we have counted num value as the target distribution. Now we have changed it to heart disease. That is the new row we have used while we have created that feature engineering stuff. Okay, and we can check what is the values, so that we need to check the class. We need to make the class balanced. So for 1, the person having heart disease, we are getting 509, and for 0, we are getting 411. So the model will learn well. So there is no imbalance that it will face. Okay. So this is actually the pre-processing step that we have came across. Next day, we will be considering with the visualization part. Okay. Clear, guys? Those whose mic is on, they can tell accordingly, and who if anyone having anything, they can just tell by raising the hand.
Yeah, I'm clear.
Okay,
Yeah, ma'am,
okay,
clear.
great, fine. So this is how, if you are being given with any of the EDA project in this kind of analysis, or in this internship also, you have to follow it accordingly. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay,
sure, ma'am.
fine. Okay, great. So, Bhavini, you have anything to say? So I'm just giving you access. You tell me what you have to say. Bhavani, you have raised your hand. Any issue? Your voice is breaking. I'm not getting.
Hello, I'm audible, ma'am.
Yeah, audible.
Ma'am, can you send this file for our reference for these future projects?
Okay, we are left with doing the interactive plots that we will be doing in tomorrow's session. After that, you will be getting it. Right?
Yeah, okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, fine. Okay, so I guess no question, no queries. So I'm just wrapping up our today's session here. We'll meet tomorrow, and accordingly, we'll go ahead with the interactive plots that I have discussed on, or on the same project that we are working today. So we'll do the try and learn about the interactive plots, how we will be plotting it down in case of ED analysis. Fine, clear, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So we'll just wrap up our session today here. Okay. Bye, guys.